आज सुबह क्या था वो? है? हाँ, भूतवृत। भूतभावना, भूतकृत।
शरीर भूतकृत।
हाँ, अब अभी भी अस्पताल में है?
हाँ, जा गया ना
कहाँ?
इधर सादे कुटिया में।
साधक कुटिया में?
वही दोपहर में सामान तो ला रहा था मैं तो।
ने कहाँ पर?
ये जो अभी माइकल स्वामी जी है ना,
हाँ,
उन्हीं के
मतलब
साथ।
इधर नीचे साधक कुटीर में या ऊपर?
नहीं, ऊपर नहीं, दूसरा मंजिल पे।
अच्छा, हाँ हाँ, दो है, एक इसके।
SK1 में दया है, SK2 में माइकल स्वामी जी है, SK3 में मैं हूँ। SK
ऊपर की बात।
ऊपर वाला
हाँ, ये साधक कुटीर, वो कृष्णानंद सेंटिनरी, तो उसमें तो नहीं। इधर आप और
दया है,
दया।
और वो लड़का है पंडित जी,
हाँ,
और माइकल स्वामी जी और मैं,
अच्छा,
4 लोग हैं।
हाँ हाँ,
ये माता जी भी थे, सुष्मिता भी उधर ही थी, तो अब इधर आ गई 6 नंबर में।
हाँ हाँ, अच्छा। और फिर वहाँ आपको स्मेल आता था सच्ची?
इसमें जिस दिन बनाते थे ना तो बहुत ज़्यादा आते थे
कभी कभी?
जी।
हरि ओम। श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च तत्रैव उपशमं यान्ति। तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। महाभूताय नमः। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम नमस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र। येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः। ओम ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुर्पदम् मंत्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham bande Paramanandamadavam. Om Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Sachidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Maharani ki jai. Hari Om. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter and 13th sloka. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvatokshishiro mukham sarvatah sritimalloke sarvamavritya tishtati. A little we have discussed yesterday, and this is repetition of Vishwarup, cosmic form, with hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere. He exists in the worlds enveloping all. Exists in the worlds enveloping all. He, the knower of the field, or Parabrahman, pervades everything in this world. He fills and surrounds this world with himself. He abides in the universe enveloping everything. This enveloping, generally we think it is from outside. Envelope is outside the letter. But actually when we analyze the word, enveloping means the world is saturated with all pervasiveness of the Absolute. It is in and out both, not only enveloping outside. When it envelops outside, then it enters in also. Enters in means he is always, whatever is there, it is in and out of it. And this idea, when we think maybe the truth is something else and the object is something else, the world is something else. So, if at all there is relationship, the world, the truth will envelop outside from the world, and then it will enter in, and it will become one with it. It is not so. The truth is first, then the worlds are created within it. So whatever is created in the water, that is water only. If the bubble is created in the water, or the waves, or the whirlpools, or the current, or the waves or ripples, they are only water, because water was first, and then all these appear. So, whatever appears in it, that is it only. We planted a banana plant, banana. There was nothing inside, no stem was there, and no flower, no fruits, nothing. Only leaves enveloping one after, over the other, only the leaves, just like onion. Only one layer envelops the other layer. In that way the banana plant was there. And when it gives fruit, see where from that comes. It is from within. And it is banana. So all those leaves and their overlapping layers, everything, leaf also, and the stem also, the flower, fruits also, flowers also, everything is banana only. Banana means everything. Similarly, mango means the seed also, the plant also, the leaves, the branches, everything, and the fruit also, and the juice also. The same sap which is created by the earth, by water, manure and earth, everything, Panchabhut, it was distributed in the whole tree, and it went on modifying, and it becomes the branch, it becomes the sub-branch, it becomes the buds and leaves and flowers and fruits, everything it becomes. Only the modification of the sap. So mango means the inner juice, inner centrified, the liquid, the ras. Ras means the juice, the essence, which is called mango. It appears as a sprout in the beginning. It becomes a tree afterwards. It becomes branches, sub-branches, roots also, sap also, and the flowers, fruits, everything. Everything together is called mango. But wherever we see in a particular part of it, there is no mango, it is only a part of the mango. When you want to see the mango, mango vanishes. You see the part. So in this way, mango is everywhere present in the whole tree. Similarly, this truth, who is enveloping the whole worlds, many, many worlds within it, sarvatah panipadam tad sarvatokshi siromukham sarvatah sutimalloke sarvam abritya tisthati. Sarva abritya tisthati means sarvam eva bhavati. It becomes everything. Sarvam eva tishtati, sarva, sab kuch, everything is He. So just for giving some ideas to understand it, these words or this style is maintained. He abides in the universe, enveloping everything. Abritya tishtati. In the previous verse, it is said that the Brahman which is to be known, which is to be known, is neither being nor non-being. One may think that it is non-entity or void or nothing. In order to remove this misapprehension, the Lord says in this verse that the knowable has hands and feet everywhere, etc. It directs the mind and the senses to do their proper functions. This is only the manifest aspect of Saguna Brahman, Brahman with attributes. Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma also we shall see in the next sloka. Saguna and Nirguna, they are one and the same. Just as the chameleon yesterday we were discussing, it is same lizard which changes all the colors. So the red also was the same and the green also is the same. One becomes all these. Hand means the body, legs are also body, head also is the body. So how do you understand if I say the body envelops the hands and legs and back and front? How do you understand? It is everywhere present. So we should understand it from all-round vision. That's how I always emphasize on 360-degree angle. Just as the engine driver drives the engine, so also the knowable or the knower of the field drives the body engine. What happens, you know? When the driver drives a bigger vehicle, say a bigger bus, what is that? Big bus. At night they go by sleeping. Volvo bus. When the driver drives this big bus, his mind is one with the bus. He knows the last smallest part of the bus body, where it is. He is one with the body of the bus. And he is one with the engine also. He knows which engine, which part is working in what way, in what speed the engine is working now. Then only he can control the speed and directions and all the wheels where they are moving. He is one with the bus. And the same driver, when he drives a small Maruti car, he is one with that small body of the car. Nano. Nano. Laktaki. So he becomes one with it. And the same driver when rides a cycle, he is one with the body of the cycle. Same driver, if drives a bike, motorbike, he becomes one with the whole engine and body of the bike. In this way, the all-pervading God, he becomes the human being, he becomes the sky, he becomes the bird, and he becomes the insect. He is everywhere, driving the engines, different engines, one driver only. And he is Sardar. Sardar, Sardar is the driver. Eko devo sarvabhutesu gudha. One God abides in all the beings. Where does where does he abide? Inside. Though he is inside, he is outside also. When you are living in a room, you know outside, inside, veranda, every part of the room. Then only you are the owner of the room. You abide, of course your body is somewhere in a small inner room, somewhere in a small place. But your mind, it knows all the parts of the room. Similarly, the Absolute drives this body engine, and he is not only in this human body, he is in the bodies of all the beings. The knower or the knowable of the field drives the body engine. It is the inner ruler. It is the innermost self. It is the support, substratum or basis for this world. Body, mind, life force and the senses. The existence of Brahman is determined or ascertained or indicated by the existence of the limiting adjuncts, body, mind and senses. Because there must be self-consciousness behind their activities. How can you call it non-existence then? It does exist in every way, in all conditions and in all place. That is called omnipresency. Just as the rope is not affected by the qualities of the defects of the illusory superimposed snake, so also Parabrahman, the knower of the field, is not affected by the superimposed world. He gives the example. This is not affected by the superimposed world, body, senses, mind and the life force. The rope is always rope, being unattached, unaffected, uninfluenced by the idea of the defective mind or defective eyesight of somebody who thinks snake in the place of rope. Rope has nothing to do with it. Rope is always rope. Similarly, all these bodies and all these prana, senses and mind, everything which constitutes the whole world also. It is only superimposed, just as the snake is superimposed on the rope. Rope is never influenced by the idea of snake. Similarly, the truth, the Brahman, is not influenced. It is never affected by all these ideas of body, senses, or the world, universal body or individual body. It has got nothing to do with it. There is only one common consciousness in all beings or bodies. Common consciousness, awareness, consciousness, I. Every being has that I. Four things are common in every form, every being. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithun. In everybody it is there. Four aspects. Everybody wants to grow, and after growth it decays. Everybody has got appearance and disappearance, each accumulating something, forming some gross accumulatory formation as a body, let it be in any way. You see, when we go in a city, in some streets, in many places we see big dustbins. Whosoever in that locality lives, they bring all the garbage and throw in that big dustbin. And municipality people, they take away all these garbage, empty it, and take away from the place. So, what all the garbage in different dustbins? Will there be any similarity? Can you say all the dustbin will have the similar garbage? There will be difference. Anybody can throw anything in it. Similarly, the minds differ, the body differs. A being means, or the brain of the being means, it is a dustbin, big dustbin, having all these garbage, the idea of body, senses, prana, mind, and everything. So these differences makes no misunderstanding. Garbage is garbage. It is worth to throw. In this way, we should understand all the dustbins in the city, they contain only garbage. And the whole ocean contains only water, nothing else. Just as the rope is not affected by the qualities of the defects of the illusory superimposed snake, so also Param Brahman, the knower of the field, is not affected by the superimposed world, body, senses, mind and the life force. There is only one common consciousness in all beings or bodies. That common consciousness is eternal, self-luminous and all-pervading. That's how they say, one God abides in all beings. Eko devo sarvabhutesu gudha. That common consciousness is Parabrahman. That is known as Parabrahman, the Supreme Truth, Supreme Self, Paramatma, Param Brahma. The body, mind, senses and the life force, prana, are by nature insensate, but they are moved by Brahman to action. How they act, how they move, they move. They are moved by the will of the Lord, by the will of the consciousness absolute. Morning perhaps we were talking of the toy. The toys, there are so many toys of different kinds. Some parrot and some car and some little you see human children in the form of toys, or some horses or some elephants, some toys, different kinds of toys the child have. And when the children play with the toys, some are with, you see, pencil shells, and the remote will be with the child. And can the toys move according to their will or by the will of the child? By the will of the remote. That pencil shell which is inside the toy, that is controlled by the remote in the hands of the children. That is also not the hands which control. It is the mind of the children which controls the movement of the cars. In video game also, we can play video game. It is mind's play. It is not really some toys which play. So mind is nothing but movement. That movement is transferred into the movement of the remote. It activates the cell, and then it activates the body of the toys. So one is transferred into the other. In that way, everything seems to be moving. Behind everything, one idea is there. That is absolute consciousness which drives or moves all the beings in this universe. They act on account of the mere presence of Brahman or the knower of the field. The limiting adjuncts are illusory, they are powerless, they cannot do anything by themselves. Hence, they put on the semblance of the consciousness, just as the iron piece puts on the semblance of a magnet when it is in the presence of a magnet. You know how to make an iron piece into magnet? Do you know? Of course, by electricity we can make. And by rubbing it in a particular way on the magnet piece, the iron piece becomes magnet. You see, another example, the red hot iron, it can burn anything. Where from it borrows its burning sensation, burning power, it borrows it from the fire. It has been hot by the fire and it transfers the same quality and burns it, whatever comes by the touch. Similarly, all these bodies, all these beings, they move by the movement of they are transferred that magnetic power from the absolute knower of the Brahma, body, or knowable of the body. He is all in all. He is the mountain of magnet, and anything comes in contact with it, it turns into magnet. That is how, when you go to a realized soul, just sit near him, your personality is totally saturated with his presence. You cannot do anything of your will. Whatever he wants to do, you have to do it. Just as we have been discussing all the time, all these individual beings are nothing but the reflection of the Absolute, within the Absolute. So just as the body moves, then your reflection moves in the mirror, so also the reflection cannot move by themselves. They move by your movement. Similarly, the beings, they have this movement, life force. They appear as if they are living beings because of the force of the Absolute. And that Absolute Truth, Brahman, knower of the field, it does nothing. It's nature, that power, the energy, it plays the drama. That energy in the form of life force, consciousness. That is how all these beings, they move. Their movement is because of the energy of the nature of the Absolute. Absolute has no nature, but it appears as if it has nature. Its presence itself. See, when the needle comes near a big piece of magnet, just as it becomes helpless, wherever the magnet moves, the needle has to move. That movement of the needle is due to the movement of the magnet. Similarly, there is no movement in the magnet. Magnet is as it is. So also the Absolute is absolutely constant. But these movements are just superimposed, just imagined. And another example we give always, the example of Ratha Parampara. We see the car is moving, but when you analyze minutely, no part of the car's body moves. Nothing is moving. Neither the body moves, not any parts of the body of the car moves, nor the engine moves. It is constantly fixed, and all the engine parts are constantly fixed, and everything is fixed. The tire, the tube, the rim, the axis, everything is fixed tightly. Nothing moves. But yet, as a whole, when it is compared with other things, due to some willpower of the owner of the car, which is transferred to the driver, which is transferred again to other parts of the engine, they appear as if they are moving. This movement is nothing but stagnancy. It is steadiness only. When it is compared, then only the movement is understood absolutely from overall vision, from the supreme vision. There is no world, there is no beings, there is nobody is moving, but relatively we have to understand something. In this way only we can understand. By the help of the example of Ratha Parampara, the process of the car, to whom does this speed belong? There is no speed, but yet we see the speed comparatively, relatively, for some time. This is how the whole the universes are seen in the absolute truth. Do you think when the bubbles burst, something happens to the water? What happens to the water? When the ripples dash against each other, what happens to the water? When there is sound or there is whirlpools in the water, does any part of water moves? In the current of the water, the flow of the water, what happens to the water? Water is not water all the time. So in this way, movement or all these changes, they are apparent, they are supposed, superimposed, attributed, and this is called Maya. This creates the confusion. We understand nothing. But relatively we have to understand how this world is, how this body is. So real knowledge, Arjuna asked, what is the real knowledge? How is this body and how does it move? Who is the knower of the body? Who is knowable? So Lord explains in this way. The whole world is superimposed on Brahman, like the snake in the rope. This is called, when you think a rope is there instead of a snake is there instead of the rope, do you think any part of the snake is seen and other part is seen as the rope? The whole rope is unseen or overseen, and this whole snake is seen on the place of the rope. So the whole world, not one body, not a few number of the beings are superimposed, the whole universe, not one universe. Go on imagining as many as you like. All are only imagination, superimposition. They are superimposed on the absolute truth. This is called adhyarop. It is sublated by the method yukti of apabad, negation or denial. This verse is taken from the Shvetasvatara Upanishad. Sarvataha panipadam tad sarvatavakshi sirvamukam sarvataha sutimalloke sarvamavritya tishtati. In other Upanishads also the same thing is explained vividly in different language, different methods. And then we shall see Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvendriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhrityaiva Nirgunam Gunabhoktrucha. All the opposite qualities are given here, and in essence the Nirguna Brahma, the qualityless absolute truth, is qualified, and both quality and non-quality are same. Just as we think the head and tails are different from each other, opposite to each other, but it is one coin only which holds all these. Head and tail are not other than the coin. Similarly, all these, whether with quality, with names and forms, with movements or non-movements, with actions or non-actions, whatever we imagine, all these are also in the Absolute, and it is not there in the Absolute also. So both way it is the same. If you see the tail, it is the coin. If you see the head, it is the coin. If you see the both, then it is coin. If you don't see both, then also it is coin. In this way, this sloka number 14. It gives you the clarity. Saguna and Nirguna Brahman, they are one only, there is no contradiction. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, shining by the functions of all senses, and Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, yet without the senses. Asaktam, anattached, sarvavrit supporting all, and even then, nirgunam, gunabhoktrucha, devoid of qualities, and yet experiencer of qualities. So in this way, both way. In Vishnu Sahasranama also we see all the ekam cha and ekam cha. See, when we see Devi Atharvasirsa or Ganesh Atharvasirsa or other last part of some Upanishads and Suktas and Sirsas, always they give both the opposites together. Ekam anekam, ekanekam, sunyam cha asunyam cha. And how it is? Sunya means from one sense it is empty. Then when it is empty, then it holds everything. Everything is within it, so it is solid also. See, the stone is solid, isn't it? But the pot is empty. There is nothing inside the pot, we say. And do you say there is something in the stone? Stone is solid means there is nothing else inside it. And the pot is empty means nothing is there inside it. So how do you see solidity is different from emptiness? Both are same. Solid means empty, because there is nothing other than it within and without. In this way, when we analyze and see, contemplate and discuss on the things, analyze it, then both the opposites, they appear to be same. East means west. Always our language, window means door. It is what a passage. So here we shall see all the contrary, all the differences are in one. Tomorrow we shall see shining by the functions of all the senses, yet without the senses, unattached yet supporting all and devoid of qualities, yet they are experiencer of the senses. In this way, both opposites are in one. Can you say? Some person has taken your front view photo, and from back also he has taken another photo. Does it belong to you or somebody else? Both are your photos only. Similarly, both are in one. So tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम।